Hello everybody and welcome to another Deckman Productions review. Today we are going to review the brand new Lionel 30,000 gallon tank car with freight sounds. Now, the Lionel freight sounds is nothing new, but it's nice to see Lionel actually offering the freight sounds in more modern rail equipment. I've seen Lionel cars with freight sounds, but it's always been in freight cars like 40-foot box cars and time periods of that I don't run. I like more modern stuff, 90s, 80s, maybe even the late 70s. So I was pretty excited to see Lionel actually come out with freight sounds on our 30,000 gallon tank car. Now I do have Cargill Foods freight cars on my layout. I do have a Cargill Foods facility. If you watched my videos of Conahay Rail, you'll see those particular cars in action. So yeah, these tank cars actually have freight sounds. So let's take a listen. I'm going to activate track power, and you hear that little bong noise. So we're going to go ahead and push this along so you can hear it. Now you'll hear some sounds after it stops. A lot of your tank cars still have fluid moving around in them after they stop, so they creak a little bit as fluid moves when the car is no longer in motion. So it's pretty realistic. So we're going to go over some of the features of this particular tank car. The first thing we're going to do, I know people are going to ask, are the sounds adjustable? And yes, I will show you that right now. So we're going to take a look here. So if you want to adjust the sounds, you'll simply open up this hatch. There's a Phillips head screw down inside here, and you pretty much, my screwdriver is actually a little, almost too big, so you want maybe like a number 1 Phillips. This is actually a number 2. And you simply can adjust the sounds up and down from there. Once you're done, just close the hatch. Now, the downfall is the adjuster is quite a ways down inside, so you will need a pretty long screwdriver to do your sound adjustments. The next thing I want to show you guys is there are switches inside of this tank car, and I'll show you how to access these. One switch will turn the sounds off and on, and the other switch is simply a maximum minimum switch. So you can actually change the rate that sounds happen just by flipping a switch from maximum to minimum. So if you don't want to hear sounds that often, you can actually turn the switch to minimum. Alright, so to access the switches, it's not that hard, but they are hidden. On the one end of the tank car, the same end where you made your adjustment at, okay, is the end you want to open up. So let me turn the sounds off so you can hear me. There you go, that's better. And you're going to simply fold down this handbar. It's simple. In the instructions, Lionel says they want you to remove this hazmat placard. Well, I'm not breaking it, and I found it near impossible to remove it. It's in there. So I found that the end cap will come off with the placard in place. So I wouldn't even touch it if you can't get it off. So the end cap, you're simply going to take it and twist it. You're going to twist it counterclockwise to get it off. So I'll show you right here. Simply take it, twist it. See how that twists? Not much. Very little. Once you twist it, you simply pull it out, and I'll show you how to slip it past that hazmat sign. And I'm simply going to tilt it. See, I'm tilting it to get past this placard right there, which I can't get out, but Lionel says it'll come out. And so there. I got the end cap off. That's where you want to find your switches. So let's take a look at them. So there are your switches. There's your min-max switch and your on-off switch. So they're inside the car. This does have speaker holes on the bottom. Yeah, it's unrealistic as far as rivet counters, but if you want freight car sounds, this is what you gotta do. So it does not bother me at all because I don't look at the undercarriage of a freight train as I'm running it. So there's your speaker hole. So here's your freight trucks. They use a roller type of freight truck on each side. Copper strip, which I'm not really a fan of, to make the connection across both axles. And it doesn't seem to have that much of a drag on it, actually. I was surprised. So there's no drag even though they're using a copper strip on top of the axle. So I'm kind of good with that. There's your thumbtack coupler, which I know there's people are not fans of that, but it doesn't bother me any. But on the plus side, if you don't like the coupler, Lionel does offer body-mounted coupler adapters in a bag, which I'm not going to use because I like the knuckle couplers on the trucks, even though it's not realistic to a real railroad car. So here's where you would mount your coupler adapter right there. Okay, see it right there. Does feature rotating wheel bearing trucks, die cast trucks with springs. I mean, look how cool that is. This is a modern day freight car, tank car that we'd actually see today. So that's like right up my alley, and it's kind of neat. So I'm going to put this back on the track. I'll show you how to put the end cap on one more time. I'll make sure this is out of the way. So you want to tilt it in past, you can see the hazmat sign I was talking about now. I could not get this off and I was afraid of breaking it. So according to the instructions, they say you have to remove it to get the end cap off. I found that you don't. As long as you're careful and you tilt it out. So I'm going to tilt it back in. I'll show you. See that? See how I'm tilting it back in past the sign? Simply put it back in. And it's just a twist. There you go. See that? It doesn't take much to lock it or unlock it. See how little I'm turning it? That's it. It's locked. That's it. Unlocked. Locked. So you don't want to go twisting it like it's a jar of mayonnaise. Alright? So that's one thing you don't want to do. Just a little tiny bit and it's off. And so I think it's a cool piece. And it's about time Lionel offered Freight Sounds on something that was, or that is, more modern. At least in the last 10, 15 years. So we'll turn the, and there's your sound letting you know that it's activated. So Lionel recommends if you like freight car sounds and you want to run more than one, they recommend putting one every 5 cars. So you put this, 5 cars, another sound car, 5 cars, and another sound car. They also are offering Freight Sounds in the same tank car in the ADM road name. I'll probably get one of those as well. Lionel also came out with a Cargill Foods with an EOT device or end of train device for running unit tank trains. And I'll probably end up with that too, since I have a fleet of Cargill freight cars. So I hope you enjoyed the this demonstration of the line. I'm sure everybody's heard Freight Sounds, and I can't imagine them changing anything other than the fact that they're offering it in a modern tank car. But thanks for watching another DAC Bands review, and see you later. Bye.